stand-ons, and walk-behind mowers. Take advantage of the Toro 0% financing or Toro rebate on select mowers. Stop in next week between the 25th and 27th to check out great deals and amazing finance offers. Ronnie's has everything you need to make your lawn look the best in the neighborhood. For more details on spring sales event deals, visit your local Toro dealer. Ronnie's Repair on Sunbeam Road. Browse the entire Toro line at ronniesrepairshop.net. All handhelds and accessories will be 10% off during the spring sales event.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Prairie View A&M secures its inaugural NCAA tournament victory with a win against Lehigh. Panthers are now heading to Tampa to challenge Florida, the top seed. Catch it live tomorrow at 9 on 1010XL AM and stream. The Heat host the Lakers tonight in Miami, a marquee East-West showdown. The Lakers lead the season series 1-0. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 57 degrees at 10:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Do you feel like the fans know who C-Rod is?
I feel like they do, but obviously never satisfied.
Yes,
so, we're going to keep working, keep getting better, keep grinding, and hopefully one day everybody know.
This is your captain speaking. Thank you for flying Teal Airlines. As we begin our descent to Jacksonville, we have sunny skies and a crisp 47 degrees. And Chris Rodriguez, welcome to Duval.
Taking on tacklers, Rodriguez, chiseling yardage, touchdown.
I mean, one of the toughest backs I've been around in terms of you hand him the football, you typically know you're going to get 4 yards. You're usually going to get an efficient run when Chris has got the ball in his hands.
Handoff here, it's Rodriguez again, slipping a tackle, and look at Rodriguez leapfrogging the defense.
Hungry runner, just a teammate, like a great teammate, always ready, didn't complain, wasn't a guy, politicking to get on the field with anybody's media or anything like that. And I think it's cool, too, now he gets to go with an offensive coordinator and a head coach that worked with him in college and obviously has a lot of belief in it.
Good run, Rodriguez, busting into the outside, chase down from behind.
Chris Rodriguez is, in fact, somebody that if you watch the tape, you understand very quickly exactly who he is as a football player, the superpowers that he taps into consistently. And, if you draw back to his time at Kentucky, it's remained a constant.
Once he gets a full head of steam going, not a ton of people want to tackle him in the open field.
This past year was his career year, 112 carries, 500 yards, 6 scores. Very different back than Travis Etienne. I would say a very different back than Bashal Tootin, and a very different back than LaQuint Allen.
Rodriguez is the running back. Up the middle, Rodriguez, touchdown!
Why Jacksonville? I think, it's an opportunity. I feel like it was going to be the best opportunity for me. I know Liam, and he knows me, and I know the type of standard he expects, and I feel like we can get that done.
Now, Jaguars Today on 1010XL with Mike Dempsey, Fat Tony, and RJ Saunders.
All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome in day one of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It's one of the great sports days of the year. Great sports, let's call it 48 hours, Tony, or 36 or however many until it gets wrapped up on Friday night. Always like when my team plays late Friday because then I'm around and I watch a lot of other teams get eliminated before I had that crushing disappointment.
Sure.
How long did it take you to fill out your bracket? How much effort was put in?
I don't know, 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Maybe.
That quickly?
Yeah.
Wow, I probably spent 20 minutes. I read a few write-ups on a couple of teams I know nothing about, particularly like the 8-9 matchups,
Sure.
that are coin flips, what have you. So we will go through the public humiliation ritual later on of going through the highlights of our picks along with RJ Saunders, who I don't know, Tony, what he's come up with, but at 9:41 this morning, I walked by the cubicle where RJ Saunders holds court, and he had a bracket and it was completely blank. But he claims he had one What would you have it filled out online, and then
You're
you
right.
had to go back in and copy it?
Just wanted to transfer it.
Is that from the 1010XL Mr. Chubby's bracket challenge, or from some other bracket challenge?
Yeah, it's from the bracket challenge because I didn't have any time to really print one out. So
Okay.
I just took
Printing
the one
is
that
a
was
long
already
process. Usually takes all
allotted.
like 5 to 15 seconds
Yeah.
now. So it is a very
Too long for
inconvenient
me.
thing
Yeah.
to click that button.
I know we'll be turning in for the
This guy.
in-house competition as well, right?
Oh, I
Like,
already did. I already
right.
donated my $10. It's
and
gone.
I do wonder, like I saw RJ as he was just kind of flashing his up in the air a moment ago. I saw that he writes out the names of all the teams as they go through the bracket.
Yes.
I just flat out don't. I just put the number.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think RJ does it the God-fearing All-American way, red-blooded All-American.
That's why mine only takes 2 minutes because I'm just writing a number.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
all right.
Until I get to the Final Four. I write the team names for the Final Four.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
Can't be bothered before
So that I don't have to look back at who's that again? Okay. Yeah. Like I know who that is.
That was my shame. I don't know. I would never. I'd be constantly looking back and seeing who is this 3 seed that I had advancing and winning all these games. But anyway, we'll get through that a little bit later on. It's kind of the obligatory thing. We don't have a Jaguar specific question out there for you today, although we've got plenty of Jaguar discussion coming your way that you're welcome to take part in. We're asking you today the Chad and Sandy real estate question today. Just give us your Final Four teams. Please don't give me 4 numbers. Don't give me 1, 1, 3, 5 and make me guess.
Guess at who the 3 and the 5
Hey,
are, and the
I'm
ones
going
for
with
that
St.
matter.
John's as the 5, baby.
Like if you say all 4 ones, it's like okay, then I know your Final Four.
Yes, you can
Right.
do that. 1 seeds across the board, and some people, somebody's already replied all higher seeds.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's fine. I every year I threaten to do it, and then every year I'm like, nah. This year. I gotta get crazy with it. I always end up picking a couple of I always have one outlier team making it to the Sweet 16 at least. And usually what I do in that little area is where I'll pick 2 upsets to face each other, and if I blow it in that little spot, it's just that little pod, and it'll stop right there. But anyway, we will not spend our whole focus today on the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Jamal St. Cyr going to join us coming up. He's going to sit in with you a week from today. I'm off next Thursday.
Yep.
But he'll be in for the whole show. But we'll get Jamal's take from Channel 4 on, that what's been mostly a quiet period for the Jags. They've internally re-signed a few of their guys. Chris Rodriguez, you heard the open play today, once again highlighting the one guy they went outside of the building to acquire, and he doesn't count against the compensatory pick formula. So they're really counting on Tony getting 3 additional draft picks next year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one extra thing when you look at that Tyson Campbell, Greg Newsome trade, is that, who knows, maybe somewhere down the line you would have done the same thing with Tyson. But right now, with Greg Newsome signing a deal that is worth $10 million a year on average because it's only a 1-year deal, you're expected, the Jags are, to get a 6th-round pick from that. So you can add that to the trade compensation if you want to look at it that way. And, of course, that pick doesn't come for another year, but they'll be happy to have it when they do get it. A lot of stories being written about where teams stand right now after the first wave of free agency. So we'll look at that from that perspective for the Jags. I think we have a pretty good idea, but I'd like to see if the national folks are following the situation as closely as the people here locally, because I think they've gotten a little bit better, but there's still, every once in a while, you get a story written that you're like, man, they're clearly not paying attention to what's going on in Duval County. And I don't know if this caught your eye, Tone. The rosters are set for the flag football, I'm using air quotes, on Classic that's coming up. Can a first-time event be called a Classic if it's never happened before? Don't you have to? What is the definition of the word classic,
Yeah,
by
I don't
the way?
know.
Doesn't it? It seems
From an
like
athletic standpoint, I don't know.
something that should have occurred in the past, and you have a, let's see, classic judged over a period of time to be of the highest quality and outstanding of its kind. Okay?
Okay.
There you go. Or you could, if you use it in a different way, remarkably and instructively typical. In other words, Hamlet is the classic example of a tragedy. Okay, I get that. But if you're using it in the sense that you're calling something a classic, that's a judgment that comes over a period of time. So the Fanatics Flag Football Classic will be going up against the men's NCAA tournament, and I'm already bothered by I honestly hope that the men's national team, the guys that nobody knows any of their names that have been playing flag football and really with an eye towards it being added to the Olympics for a long time. Yeah. I hope they wipe the floor with these NFL squads because it's a mixture of current players, former players, influencers. You got Tom Brady going, I don't know, maybe I'd play quarterback one day. No, we're not here to hand you an Olympic gold medal, Tom Brady, just because you want it. Okay. Right. So, I get out there and play and earn your spot. I'm sorry. I don't care what you've done as what is he, an 7-time Super Bowl champion. Yeah. That earns you nothing to me in terms of making a men's national team in a flag football setting. So anyway, we'll go through the rosters a little bit later on. And it's just, I'm really rooting for the men's national team to show these guys that it's not just as easy as showing up, or maybe it will be. And maybe they'll show up and we'll be like, yeah, you know what? I mean, you always have that trope that, hey, if we took our best athletes in the United States and we focused on soccer from day one and had them grow up, we'd dominate the world scene. But we don't send our best athletes to do that because they play other sports. Who knows? We'll see what goes down, or we won't because we'll be watching NCAA tournament basketball this weekend. But it will still take place either way. All right, we're ready to roll. We got Jamal St. Cyr from Channel 4 on the other side. You can join the conversation at 641-1010 today on the Key Buick GMC phone lines. You can hit us up with that same number on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Stream us on YouTube, on X, on Facebook, and find us on the socials at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL, Fat Tony, and at R has no J. Yeah! Are we going to get some March Madness themed little music drops for the next week, or is that...
The ball is tipped.
I'm not one of those.
There you are.
Oh, yeah. I'm not. The one shining moment is not my thing, man. I've never, I'm not going to say I've never seen the whole thing. But like the tournament's over, I don't need to see that with the cheesy music. I think the music's cheesy as can be. I've seen all the highlights. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a cool highlight package. I just think it's a little forced instant nostalgia. And curmudgeon me doesn't like that, Tony.
By the time we get to that, it's baseball season in my head anyway.
Right on, brother.
Right, like, I have the tournament this weekend. Baseball starts next week. Right,
I got a tournament until St. John's is knocked out, which could be Friday night. And then, come next Monday, you'll never hear from us again on this subject. This is a good point you're making right here. All right, let's take a time out. Come back with Jamal St. Cyr talking Jaguar ball on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. It sure is great living in the golf capital of the world.
Blue skies, fresh cut grass, birds chirping.
1010XL, Jacksonville's golf station.
Jeez, you love this golf stuff, huh? Oh, yeah.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Jaguars Today, Thursday, is brought to you by
Cannons of Jacksonville.
At G&H Tires and Service, the G stands for great pricing. The H, well, that means honest service. For over 20 years, Roger and his team have helped Jacksonville drivers stay safe on the road. Need brakes, oil change, AC not blowing cold? Well, how about a super affordable $36 oil change? Affordable brake jobs, AC checks before summer hits, alignments for all these construction roads, and even free check engine light inspections. Locally owned, community driven. G&H Tires and Service on Beach Boulevard.
To catch more fish, you gotta think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services. And Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6.
On 1010XL AM.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
Firehouse Subs is adding a new heavy hitter to the roster, the Chicken and Cheddar Rancher. Grilled chicken, melted cheddar, crispy bacon stacked high with fresh toppings, creamy buttermilk ranch. The Chicken and Cheddar Rancher, only at Firehouse Subs.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
All right, Jacksonville, you know spring has officially arrived when the pollen's flying, the grass is growing, and your septic system starts thinking about getting your attention. Trust me, a simple pump out now can save you from a disaster that'll have the whole neighborhood holding their noses. That's why you call Duck Duck Rooter the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. Real pros, not somebody guessing with a shovel. Right now, schedule your spring septic clean and get $50 off septic tank pumping. So when you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Hoops action continues this Friday. Enjoy the madness with the shows of 1010XL. Watch the Friday games of the tournament and enjoy food and drink specials all day. Starting with Helmets and Heels, live from Big Dog's Tavern on Blanding Boulevard. Then join the Frangie Show at Fourscore, a golf tavern on Gate Parkway from 4 to 6. Then finish the day with Into the Night with Rick Ballou and Hacker After Dark at Top Dog Tavern on Old St. Augustine Road. Now that's the way to celebrate hoops.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Everything you need to know about the Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, Jaguars today on day one of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. I don't count all the play-in stuff. Field of 64, that's when it kicks off for me. Anyway, Tony, and, my interest level will ebb and flow with the success of my bracket, like a lot of people. All right, Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith here with you. We welcome in our friend and friend of the program, of course, Jamal St. Cyr from Channel 4. What's up, Jamal? How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. My bracket ain't busted yet, so I'm feeling good, guys.
We are pristine at this moment. I'm feeling 63-0, but, I may be getting a little ahead of myself. Are you usually pretty good? How big of a college basketball fan are you?
I watch a handful throughout the season. I mean, I see more SEC stuff, just nature of the area, than I'm not going to tell you I've watched a High Point game this year.
Come on now. I think High Point played Flagler when I was at Flagler in the 80s at some point, so I should be pulling for him. I've been saying Tony and I have watched maybe a collective half dozen games between us this year. That number could be high. I won't lie. That number could be high. All right, let's talk a little Jaguar ball, man. Kind of all quiet on the teal front, I think, right now until the NFL draft rolls around. Jamal, they're very much looking like, and they've admitted it to some degree, that they're really conscious of the compensatory pick formula and stockpiling those, not only to, make them next year, but have that as ammunition to go out and acquire players. So do you like the approach that they've taken this offseason to this point, signing a few of their guys, letting a few high-profile guys go, and really not dipping their toes deeply into the free agent waters?
Yeah, that's the name of the game right now for them is acquire those picks through the comp pick formula, wait for the draft, and really draft and develop this team. Look, I don't hate it. I mean, we've seen some of the teams that have really sustained playoff success. I mean, buy into this. I mean, look at the San Francisco 49ers. The Baltimore Ravens have been playing it forever. So there are teams around the league that let these guys walk, draft really well. And you're like, who's this guy that's out there on the field? And they're like, hey, he's a day 3 pick, and it's great. So the Jaguars obviously are trying to get into this world. So it's kind of a new feeling for a lot of folks around in Jacksonville that have been following the team. But it's something that does take a little bit of getting used to because you get to know some of these guys. I mean, you're used to seeing Devin Lloyd at linebacker. He's been here for 4 years, and then now you let him walk, and you're like, well, the Jaguars could have paid that contract, but what would you rather have? Would you rather have Devin Lloyd on that contract or probably Ventrell Miller, a rookie linebacker on a cost-controlled contract for 4 to 5 more years and probably was going to amount to a 4th-round pick? It's like, what would you rather have there?
With that in mind, how do you look at the free agent class that they potentially have next year where they have major players? Like, we know the 2 guys that were involved in it this year, and we talked about them throughout the season. But when you look at that group potentially next year, Trayvon Walker, which they can still control a little bit more, but Anton Harrison, Brenton Strange, Parker Washington, Antonio Johnson, these are big-time players for them. How do you think they prioritize those guys as far as getting them back or looking at the compensatory side of the formula here?
Yeah, look, next year's class is a big one, and it's tough. So there's gonna be a couple of those guys that end up walking. That's just the reality of the situation. Do I think they'll do their best to try and keep a couple of them? Absolutely. But there's going to be a few that won't be in Jacksonville, and that's just how it's going to work out. And for all of those guys, they're going to be playing their way into contracts. Most of them have those Devin Lloyd type situations for one reason or another. Trayvon Walker's coming off of an injury-riddled season. There's no way his agent is hoping to sign an extension this offseason. His agent's probably thinking, man, if I can get Trayvon to go out here and have a 10-sack season, payday will be crazy. So same thing for Parker Washington. This is probably going to be, not probably, this will be the first time in Parker's career he goes into a season knowing his role on an offense. He caught fire late last season when he got opportunity. So his people are probably thinking, man, if Parker can do that over the course of a whole season, we know what these wide receiver paydays look like. Look what Alec Pierce just got. So same thing for him. Brenton Strange last season was his first year starting, so he was fantastic. You get a second year to build off of that. That just does nothing but add to his resume. Antonio Johnson kind of earned starting reps midway through the season, graded out great for PFF. Can he get back into the starting lineup and lock down and play like that for a course of a whole season? So all of these guys really are going into these contract years with a ton on the line. And if they play the way they did last year in some of them part-time duty or over the course of their career, then they have an opportunity to increase their value. So it's going to be tough for the Jaguars to keep all of them. But you want to see all these guys have success, right? And that's where this comp pick formula is going to start coming into play. And you kind of got to get used to it where good teams tend to draft a year in advance because they know they can't keep all these guys.
This is true. Jamal St. Cyr, Channel 4 here with us talking Jaguar Bowl and the offseason. All right, where the team stands right now, where the roster is, we know they need help in certain areas. But when you compare the need for additional pressure, edge rush help, compared to the need for a potential, maybe even starting linebacker to replace Devin Lloyd, depending on how things work out with Ventrell and Branson Combs. What is the bigger need? I'm not saying you have to take your bigger need first if the value isn't right, but what do you feel like is the one hole that you're going to be most comfortable when they finally plug it?
I'll feel great if they can add a defensive tackle.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I think that's one of the biggest. You need a pressure player in the middle. Eric Armstead gave you a little bit of that last year at times, but it just wasn't the impactful Eric. And at some point, he's going to be on the downside of his career. He's getting older. It's just the reality of the situation. Mason Smith hasn't shown the ability to stay on the football field and stay active. So outside of Eric and Devon, what do you have at defensive tackle? And you need help on that defensive line because you got to be able to create pressure. Look at the teams that made it to the Super Bowl. Look no further than the Seahawks who won it, and their defensive line wrecked shop. And they didn't just do it with 4. They were able to rotate guys in waves and wreck shop. And that's what you have to be able to do in the NFL. I mean, the Eagles did it a couple of years back where everybody was like, look at their front four. That's what you got to have. And the Jaguars have to keep building that defensive line with impactful players. So whether that's a third edge, whether that's another defensive tackle, whether it's a guy that can give you a little bit of both, I think you got to add talent there. If you look at, like, Trayvon missed time, sure, but between the rotations, Danny Strigal and B.J. Green played a ton of snaps. So did Dewan Smoot and Emmanuel Ugba, because you got to rotate those guys and keep them fresh. So adding another defensive end to that room wouldn't be bad either, just to try and keep those guys fresh, because if you're going to make the run late in the season, the less snaps Josh and Trayvon have early in the season, the better off you'll be.
Sticking with the defensive line conversation for a moment here, do you think B.J. Green or Danny Strigo will be the better player long-term? Like, who would you pick between those two? What do you believe their ceiling to be, and why?
You know, it's tough. I think both of them are going to be really solid players in their NFL career, and they both have a ton of potential, but they're both very different players. Like, B.J. Green has potential as a pass rusher, man. Just his compact build, the way he can get out there, I think he has a shot at being a really solid pass rusher, while Danny Strigal's really just, I mean, he's a football player, man. He's tall, he's lanky, he knows how to use that length out there on the field. He's really good against the run. So I think they're kind of different guys, right? I think if I had to pick one, you want the guy that's going to impact the quarterback the most. So I'd say maybe B.J. Green has a little bit of a different ceiling, but I think both of them end up in the league for a little while.
All right, Jamal St. Cyr, Channel 4, a couple more moments with you here as we look at where we stand now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chris Rodriguez is the one guy, Jamal, that they obviously prioritized and went after him right away when free agency opened up. Liam Cohen was blowing up his phone minutes after 4 o'clock last Wednesday, he said. So where does Rodriguez fit with Basil Tootin, LaQuint Allen, maybe DJ Dallas? How do you see this backfield at the moment?
Right now, I think that they're gonna let them fight it out.
Yep.
So you look at it and you say Tootin and Rodriguez probably are your lead candidates in the battle. LaQuint's in there, but he's going to have a shot. And I still think they'll end up adding a running back some point during the draft. So I think they're going to get to a point in training camp where there's 4 guys that are really fighting for it. I think the floor for Chris Rodriguez is he takes over the short yardage stuff that Basil Tootin did last year. That's the absolute floor for him. Just from his playing style, his history with Liam Cohen, what he's done in his career. Is there an opportunity for him to be much more than that? Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how this thing shakes out. He's the veteran guy that they know what he's going to bring to the table. So you bring that guy in, you know exactly what you're going to get on Sundays from him, as opposed to some guys that haven't had as much NFL game experience in LaQuint or Basil, where you're not as confident what you're going to get Sunday in and Sunday out. So I think it was good that they were able to add this kind of young guy, young veteran, been there and done that a little bit, but we'll see how it all shakes out. Like, he's not guaranteed work. I keep comping him to like De'Ami Brown. De'Ami Brown came in, they expected him to do one thing. It didn't materialize to that, and they were real quick to say, okay, this isn't working. And then he was inactive and basically never saw the field again. So there's no guarantees that just because they signed Chris Rodriguez, he's going to get this heavy workload, which I think is part of the reason why maybe some other running backs that got similar money weren't as interested in Jacksonville, because they weren't guaranteeing anybody snaps.
Miami appears to be open for business right now with trading away their players. There's always players available across the league, though, for the right kind of price. Is there any player that you would like to see the Jaguars potentially pursue via a trade here over the course of the next couple months?
I mean, I think it would be great if they had another Achane in the backfield, right? You know,
right.
I mean,
he's got
Travis Achane to Devon Achane?
Yeah, it's not. I'm not taking credit for this, but I saw the other day somebody said as soon as he gets traded, he's going to let us all know it's really pronounced ETN, which is honestly would be one of the great troll jobs of all time if he did that.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. That would be absolutely great. But, yeah, I would love to see a move like that. Look, the Jaguars want a running back that can do a lot of things. I mean, you guys were out there and watched how Liam Cohen moved around the running back during training camp. He wants to be able to have a guy who can line up in the backfield, split him out wide, and still be able to be this threat. Devon Achane's an impactful running back, and honestly, keeping him down there in Miami will do nothing but stunt him in that offense. It looks like they're going into full rebuild, so why keep that guy? You add him to the offense, and again, this goes to the message that we always hammer. How many weapons can you put around Trevor Lawrence? And if you go and add a dynamic running back to what's already a pretty stacked wide receiver room with a good tight end, a solid offensive line, that offense really has a shot to be absolutely special. So if they have an opportunity to go get a guy like Devon Achane, I'd say go get him.
All right, brother, who's winning the NCAA tournament? Who you got on the final line of your bracket?
I got Michigan going all the way.
You do? All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Gators in the Final Four?
I got Gators in the championship.
Okay, Michigan, Florida in the championship game. We'll see if you are correct. I bet a lot of people around these parts are going to have Florida making that deep run, and with good reason. Jamal St. Cyr from Channel 4, always a pleasure, my man. And I know you're going to be sitting in. I'm off next Thursday, and you and Tony will be holding court here, so we appreciate that. And always good to catch up with you, bud.
Oh, yeah, appreciate y'all having me on. Looking forward to next Thursday.
All right, buddy. There he goes, Jamal St. Cyr from Channel 4. Tone, always good stuff, good perspectives. You can find him at J St. Cyr TV. That's JSTCYR TV on the X platform. We'll come back, maybe a few reflections on what Jamal had to say, and start to get into a look at our brackets coming up before the hour is out, as the NCAA tournament will be tipping off shortly after noon today. We'll be out and about 1010XL with the peeps watching basketball. So we'll give you a full rundown of where you can take advantage of that coming up as well. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and RJ Saunders on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
You're locked into Jaguars Today Thursday with Cannons of Jacksonville. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Looking for adventure? Need a machine that works as hard as you do? CF Moto has you covered. At Ride Now Beach Boulevard, we've got CF Moto ATVs and UTVs built for any task, any trail, anytime. Tear up the dirt with the trail-tested C-Force ATV lineup or conquer through terrain with a Z-Force UTV. Find your CF Moto ride today at Ride Now Beach Boulevard or visit RideNowBeachBoulevard.com. ATVs and UTVs are for riders 16 and older. They can be hazardous to operate. CF Moto recommends an improved safety training course.
Here's a health and wellness tip from Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville.
This is Dr. Gary Katay with Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville. I specialize in the treatment of the hand, elbow, and shoulder. Many people suffer from tendinitis in the hand and upper extremity, often caused by repetitive motion. Prevention starts with good posture, frequent breaks, and simple stretching. Don't ignore early signs of pain. Act before it worsens. Visit us in person or online at osjax.com.
Stay healthy with Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville.
If you're the kind of person who likes to compete and win, listen up. Purple Heart Pools is hiring sales professionals and project managers to start immediately. Purple Heart Pools is a veteran-owned company building some of the most impressive custom pools in Northeast Florida. And they're looking for people who want to grow, earn, and be part of a winning team. If you've got the drive, work ethic, and the leadership mindset, search Purple Heart Pools and apply today. Equal opportunity employer.
What are the odds of filling out a perfect March Madness bracket?
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The odds of a perfect NCAA men's basketball bracket are astronomically low. About 1 in 9.2 quintillion.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Here's a little secret to why I've been married for over 25 years. Kuhn Flowers. Hot Flying Jacko here. Yeah, that's correct. When I need to send some love to my bride, I don't wait for an anniversary or her birthday. I just simply go to kuhnflowers.com.
I'm with Craig from Cycles in Jacksonville, and I tell you what, Bike Week signals a great time of the year. What is happening in the motorcycle world?
There's a lot going on. You got the Supercross race in Daytona. You'll get to see the all-new Triumph dirt bikes. Honda, of course, is always on the podium. Lots of exciting things happening there. And then at the racetrack, all the manufacturers there. You can check out, demo ride the bikes. Great time to be around.
Talking bikes down at Bike Week, and then you can see all those beautiful rides in the showroom on Atlantic near Regency or cyclesofjacksonville.com.
Did you know that an annual coating inspection can extend the life of your building by years? Catching early signs like hairline cracks, fading, and moisture intrusion helps prevent costly repairs down the road and keeps your property looking its best. Our team at Performance Painting helps you stay ahead of maintenance with professional inspections and long-lasting coating solutions. Protect your building, protect your budget. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a free inspection. Performance Painting, repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Jaguars today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, I got the rundown here for you, Tony, where you can catch 1010XL in the wild over the next 2 days. And Trent Osborne goes, you want next week's schedule? No. Man, I'm not sure I want tomorrow's. All right. I can't think that far ahead. Today, you can think you can spend your lunchtime 12 to noon, or I'm sorry, noon to 2 today. XL Primetime will be at the Ale House in Tinseltown. Helmets and Heels going to be here at the studio. Frangie's show today will be at Lola's Burrito and Burger Joint. And then Rick and Hacker tonight at Mr. Chubby's out in Ponte Vedra. We've got a different lineup of spots tomorrow. We'll worry about tomorrow. So again, Ale House at Tinseltown from noon to 2 with prime time. Frangie's show today at Lola's Burrito and Burger Joint, and then Hacker and Rick at Mr. Chubby's in Ponte Vedra tonight. Obviously, watching a bunch of NCAA tournament basketball and chopping it up with you. So, Tone, they moved the flag football tournament this weekend. It's going to be in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, there are things going on over there right now. They brought it to Los Angeles. It was originally going to be 3 teams of NFL and former NFL players going against each other, okay? And kind of to highlight that flag football is going to be in the Olympics. And I get a lot of people, look, people I'm sure will disagree with me. When I watch the Olympics, I watch for the flag. Like, I get it. The Dream Team, the first year of the Dream Team was phenomenal. It was a different kind of thing. And I guess people would feel the same way about NFL players competing in flag football to a degree. I don't think it's the same sport. I get the idea. But I'm going to be, like, if flag football's in the Olympics, I don't care if it's Johnny the flag football maestro, who I've never heard of. Right. If he's out there catching touchdowns, that to me is just as exciting. Not everyone's going to agree with that, right? But what they changed it to, they've got 2 teams now competing, and this is going to take place in Vegas? No, LA, I just said, this weekend. So you've got 2 teams of NFL players, and you've got one of them's led by Tom Brady and Jalen Hurts. The other one's led by Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow. Not quite sure how they decided, all this, but that's fine. They had a little bit of a draft. And also, the U.S. men's flag football team, which has been playing as a unit for a while, will also participate in the tournament. Here's why I've got some issues with this, okay? And I don't know all the rules of flag football. I played flag football like anybody else, intramurals and all that kind of stuff, and you're not really talking about linemen and things like that. It's a different kind of situation. Like, Kyle Juszczyk is on one of these teams. Who needs a fullback on a flag football team? Like, you couldn't, like, is it a case of we couldn't find enough guys interested in playing? And by the way, I don't want Jacksonville Jaguars running around playing flag football. And I know you can get hurt training and doing a whole lot of this other stuff. you can
like it is wild that you just mentioned the couple of names you mentioned there, and that Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow are both helping the same team. It's like,
well,
whoa.
now they are, they're both on the same team. I'm not worried. Like if my quarterback wants to play flag football all day long, go right ahead.
But those guys, like Jaden, seems right now he gets hurt by what?
This is true, by moving,
right?
By breathing at times. But you're right, and the two of them, right? But I think in flag now, I think.
You're as protected as you can be doing it.
You're not going to get hit, obviously, and you don't run nearly as much as the other guys, I would think. But the Daniels-Burrow squad, you got Saquon. All right, he makes sense. Kyle Juszczyk, that makes no sense to me. Then you got Odell Beckham Jr. Like, are these guys just going to get a pass, and just moved along the line over guys because he has name recognition? He's not even good enough to play in the league anymore.
Nope.
Right? I mean, he's young enough to. Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, who's a free agent right now, Derwin James, Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly's retired. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Do you need a retired linebacker playing flag football?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird to me.
He was always a super athlete at linebacker.
Jalen Ramsey. Okay, Jalen makes sense, right? He's a great athlete. You could see him playing both ways. Logan Paul and I Show Speed.
Oh, nice.
And if you're my age, you might not immediately know who they are, but I am on the internet enough to know who they are. And why? Just because they're trying to bring eyeballs to this. That's fine. If it's a one-off kind of thing, like, hey, people love watching these streamers, I'm going to watch this, and I'm going to get more attention for flag football, great. If Logan Paul and I Show Speed skip the line and have an actual chance to represent this country in the Olympics, that's the most ludicrous thing. Now, who knows? I Show Speed looks like a phenomenal athlete.
Oh,
right?
no, I Show Speed, joking, all his jokes and antics aside, he's a great athlete. Phenomenal athlete.
But does he just get to automatically get?
No, I don't think so.
He's already on this team.
Right.
So I think the answer is pretty clear.
Yeah. Hey, man, breakdancing is in the Olympics. So.
Let's see. The Brady and Hurts squad is Ashton Genty, Alvin Kamara, Rob Gronkowski. I mean, Antoine Winfield Jr. It's just a weird, eclectic group, right? Devontae Smith makes sense. Antoine Winfield Jr. makes sense. Free agent receiver Stephon Diggs. And I get these guys don't have to worry about being under contract to anybody. Von Miller, DeMar Hamlin, Patrick Peterson. There's some formers in here. Patrick Peterson's retired. And boxer Terrence Crawford. What? And then
I was going to ask you a serious question, in terms of this, when you were talking about this flag football being an event, and you were talking about the Dream Team, and I know what it did for the culture of basketball, helped turn it into a global game, a world sport. Is the NFL thinking this is going to have the same effect, having an American team? We're having flag football as an event. We're going up against the world. This can help turn it into more of a global game, besides us going overseas and playing one game.
But is that the point of the Olympics?
Right.
I don't care if the NFL expands its brand in the Olympics. I didn't care about expanding the NBA's brand. I cared about, you guys are sending your pros and we're sending college guys and you're going to talk some crap when you occasionally beat us once every 2 decades.
Right.
Let's go show them who plays the best basketball. That, to me, was what it was. I'm not convinced NFL players are going to be the best flag football players. It is a different game. I'm sure there are some of them that would be excellent. Is Myles Garrett going to be a great flag football player? I mean, I know you got to rush the passer.
He's not getting to do what he does.
But he can't physically put his hands and move you around. I don't know. So I'm really hoping. And you asked that question, RJ. There's no doubt it's going to bring more attention, right? Because name me 3 guys. Nah, I'm kidding. Name me 1 guy on the national team. The actual national team.
For the U.S.?
Yeah. Can't name one.
No.
You don't know who's on that national team.
No.
That's my point, right? We don't know any of those guys.
Right.
One NFL player makes it. There'll be 10 times as much ink written about it.
Yeah.
And that's my only point. The Olympics, making the Olympic team shouldn't be about who brings the most eyeballs, most attention, most publicity, who grows the sport the most. Not to me. These guys who are on the national team have been playing for years with the dream that one day this will get included into the Olympics, and we've been laying it all out. Now they have to prove they're good enough as well. I'm not saying they automatically get sent on, but I don't want token NFL representation on this team. If you make the team and you're willing to go through whatever level of tryout there is and you show that you belong, fine. You know, how many guys are going to do that risking injury? Now, will the NFL exempt injuries that occur due to participation on the Olympic team? Maybe they will, in terms of, you know, because typically, you know, you can't practically do anything outside of training for your own sport. Yeah. And if you're doing that outside the facility and you get hurt, they'll still take your money from you at times. So this would certainly not fall under the typical player contract. Will they make an exception for this? They might. I don't know. I would think you'd have to have the team and the league sign off on that. And if they aren't willing to do that, how many of these guys? Now, I could see a retired guy like Brady. Brady's like, I can sit back there and be all-time quarterback all day long. Nobody's going to touch me, you know? But I don't know.
Who knows how any of that's going to work out, and if Tom Brady's going to be playing on a team like this. Like, with the nature of flag football being what it is, like, I look at it and say, does his feet still work?
Right. Mike Vick I could see that. But
see,
again,
that's the thing too. Like in these creator leagues that they've done, like for like the NFL, you know how they have like those side shows for like the kids and everything like that. And they'll have content creators play a flag football game, normally 4 quarters or to a set score. But the quarterback is, I think last season or 2 seasons ago, it was Mike Vick versus Cam Newton. And that was like the play for it all. Like, hey, you know, nobody can touch him. Just go out and we're just going to spin it. I think one year Peyton Manning did it. I think another year Eli did it. So, I mean, that I would be, to Tony's point, that's how kind of I would think. I would say, hey, Cam, do you want to, you know, just spin it?
Cam Newton, a serious question, at 6'6", and whatever Cam weighs, is he quick twitch enough to play flag football? Flag football is a quick twitch, like bing, 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 bing,
I don't know,
around kind of game.
The answer is probably close to 0. I don't know how much of this I'm going to watch this weekend, right, with it being on. But if Mike Vick was quarterbacking one of the teams, I'd be like, I wonder what that looks like.
I might take a peek, right? Check it. I think, look, Jake Daniels would obviously be a great player, you know, and for that you want a quarterback who's accurate and elusive, right? And can buy a little bit of time with his feet. I think that's a huge part of the game. I'm no expert on flag football, but it's pretty common sense. I think
see it at the Pro Bowl every year now, though.
I just think, you know, this Logan Paul is there, and I get, okay, it's fine. If you're doing it for your event and you want to bring attention to your event, that's fine. But if I'm hearing about Logan Paul being a serious candidate to make the United States national team in a sport he's never played in his damn life, then, you know, we've got our priorities wrong as far as that stuff goes. Anyway, we'll shelve that. Let's come back. Let's start digging into our NCAA tournament brackets. Tip it off shortly after noon today. The men's tournament, one of the great high holy days of the sports calendar. We'll dig into that as we go along. You want to get in, talk a little Jaguar ball today, 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Where legends draft and drip to the checkered flag.
Right into it! They crossed the line, and guess who wins the race?
This Sunday at Darlington. Wow! On Jacksonville's high-performance NASCAR station. Oh, my goodness! 1010XL.
Top Dog Tavern is your gathering place for family and friends, offering something for everyone. Want a delicious meal served with a smile? We have you covered. Shareable appetizers, hot and crispy wings, juicy tavern burgers, fresh salads, plus a large craft beer selection. And there is nowhere better to watch all the big games than on our multiple TVs. Enjoy great food, cold drinks, and good times at Top Dog Tavern, located in Bartram Park off Old St. Augustine Road.
Jaguars Today Thursday is hitched to Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
The Florida Forum welcomes world-renowned chef and humanitarian Jose Andres at the Center for Performing Arts March 31st. His impact spans the globe as founder of World Central Kitchen, Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, and global leader using food as a force for change. All proceeds for the Florida Forum benefit the Women's Board of Wilson Children's Hospital, supporting a new outdoor play area for behavioral health services. Get your tickets now at thefloridaforum.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
If you miss an interview, it'll be waiting for you on demand.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Search where you find podcasts.
And at 1010XL.com.
Trained by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $5,000 per ounce, and silver is over $100 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold and silver for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Transform your backyard with CSS fireplaces and outdoor living, fire pits, pergolas, screen enclosures, and outdoor kitchens. CSS handles the entire project from start to finish. You dream it, they can build it. Visit CSSOutdoor.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The price of gold is soaring, and the price of silver is near record highs. If you've got gold or silver just lying around, Estates Roadshow wants it. Broken chains, old rings, coins, watches, diamonds, vintage jewelry. If it's valuable, they're buying it. No appointment needed, just walk in, get a free appraisal, and walk out with cash. They're also buying pre-1964 silver coins, flatware, sterling silverware stamped 925. They're buying coin collections, gold, silver, foreign, and domestic. Plus, they've been in business over 35 years with thousands of prior happy customers. Licensed, bonded, state-certified scales, highest tech equipment, employees with GIA certifications. The Estates Roadshow is happening 10 to 5 through Friday, close by in St. Augustine at World Golf Renaissance and Palm Coast at the Holiday Inn Express. Call Marshall at 609-781-6559 or go to estatesroadshow.com and follow Estates Roadshow on Facebook to see all upcoming events.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, let's get ourselves straight here, Tony, before hour 2 dawns upon us. Tony Smith, ladies and gentlemen, with the news from around the NFL.
Now, gems around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Philadelphia is trading a 2027 7th-round pick to the Carolina Panthers for quarterback Andy Dalton. Dalton will be going into his 16th NFL season. He has 1 year remaining on his current contract. Minnesota is bringing back quarterback Carson Wentz on a 1-year deal. Cleveland is signing former Jaguar safety Daniel Thomas. Christian Kirk has signed that 1-year deal with San Francisco. Carolina is signing running back A.J. Dillon. And 4-time Pro Bowl wide receiver T.Y. Hilton has announced his retirement from the league. Hilton Hilton was a third-round pick by the Indianapolis Colts in 2012, spent 10 of his 11 seasons there in Indianapolis.
Hey, what did you, we were talking with Jamal St. Cyr in hour number 1.
Yeah.
And, he mentioned he'd like to see, I don't want to mischaracterize the way he put it, but I think he'd like to see or wouldn't be surprised if the Jags, were interested if Devon Achane were available out there. Do you think that is a good use of resources for the Jags considering what they've got in the backfield right now?
For me personally, probably not.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't, but
he's the one name that I've seen Miami has kind of said we're not
going to trade
Achane.
him, right?
Yeah.
But which is weird to me.
Yeah.
If you're ripping it down to the studs, why are you keeping a running back? Right? Who by the time you build it back up, and maybe it's the we've got to be somewhat functional on offense, but you're trying to lose your games. Are you not? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You signed Malik Willis, and then you took his best weapon in the passing game, and you shipped him out of town.
Every indication is that wins this year are not all that important.
It doesn't appear so.
Right.
And poor Malik Willis. Poor Malik. Now, he's not poor. He's actually very wealthy by American standards. But Malik Willis goes down there. He's like, all right, I'm going to give you the chance. Got a coach who I'm familiar with from Green Bay, Tony. Going to go in there, see if I can make an impression, win some games. And no, man, we want to lose enough so we can get Arch Manning or whoever the best quarterback in the draft is next year. And when we take him, which is why we signed you to a 2-year deal, which is their prerogative, by the way. Cap hit for Devon Achane, by the way, this year, only $6 million. I say only. He's in the last year of his deal. I don't think this would be, it'd be a blockbuster deal. I think, put it this way. If you had the cap space and Miami would take a 4th-round pick for Devon Achane on a 1-year rental, I think about doing it.
And it makes sense with the broader picture of what we've been talking about with the Jags and them looking at the compensatory thing.
Right.
Like if the idea was we're going to have him here for a year, right? Maybe
then he'll sign somewhere else next year.
Yeah.
And maybe we get a 3rd-rounder on the way out the door.
Yeah.
Or a year down the line.
Or 4th or whatever. Getting a draft pick back for it. And is it going to be close to the pick you'd have to give up to get him? What does it cost?
Well, that's the thing. If Miami's saying they're not going to trade him, then they're certainly not going to dump him for a 4th, right? I'd give a 4th and a 6th for Devon Achane and take him just for having, assuming, again, the money can work. I understand at the moment, you basically just have enough cap space. You might be able to squeeze him in. You have to have a little wiggle room under there. By the way, I saw the Bears, though. What are they, $250,000 under the cap? Very tight to the cap. But do you think they won't draft players and sign them?
Right,
They'll get it done.
They'll figure out a way to get that kind of thing done. And I do like the compensation going the other way, thinking about it from the perspective of if it is just a 1-year rental. So what is that worth in draft compensation from the Jags going the other way to make it worth the 1 year of Achane? If there's no real intention to bring him here beyond that.
You gave a 4th and a 6th to get Jacoby Myers for half a year. You did sign him to an extension, but there was no guarantee that you would sign him to an extension.
But I think they brought him here with the intention of getting the extension, right?
Okay.
I think that was part of the plan with bringing him here, and I don't know that Achane it would be that.
Would you have felt that Jacoby Myers was a waste of investment if he had walked in free agency this year and they had not signed him?
Depends on the contract he got.
Yeah, and what you would get a year from now.
Yeah, kind of thing. You'd probably at least be making up the 6th you gave up.
Right. Look, I don't think Devon Achane's coming to Jacksonville. I just thought it was interesting that Jamal St. Cyr could see a vision where that would make sense to the Jags. I mean, they do have Tootin and LeQuint, who they both drafted last year, and they just signed Chris Rodriguez. I don't think it's anywhere even on their radar right now.
If it was, if the cost,
thought about it.
Right, if the cost from the Jags was, say it was one of those 3rd-round picks and a 6th, right, for Achane.
For a 1-year rental?
For a 1-year rental of Devon Achane.
And now you're at about the upper range of what I'd even consider.
Right? What if it was the 4th and a 6th?
Then I think I might be in play for that.
Yeah.
Top 100 pick is the guy you're counting on being part of your infrastructure for the next 3 to 4 years at the least. Even if he's not a starter, what is that worth if you had a guy? But then, what are the roles then? Is Achane getting 200 carries, Chris Rodriguez getting 100, and Basil Tootin getting scraps? Is LeQuint Allen still your 3rd down back when you have Devon Achane on your roster?
Right.
I doubt it. I doubt
Me too.
it. So I don't think they're going to go down that road. I just thought it was interesting. And that's why we have different people with different opinions on this program. Anyway, Zach Sealer, give me Zach Sealer now.
Absolutely.
On a 1-year rental from Miami to go crash down on the interior of some offensive lines. All right, hour 1 in the books. Let's come back. Let's rip through these brackets before we run out of time to do them. So we'll give you some of the highlights of our picks or the lowlights, as the case may be, because it's kind of obligatory. Everyone's got one filled out. RJ, you throwing your $10 in the hat? Are you trying to? You not?
Oh, come on, dude.
Are you gonna take it down?
No.
If I like your bracket, what if I subsidize you and take like a major equity share in that? How would you feel about that?
I don't think you're gonna like it. Just
all right.
Yeah,
You know
I just don't think you're gonna like it that much.
Forget it. I'll save my money in that case. Hour 2 on the way. RJ Saunders, Tony Smith, Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Things you never hear Dan and Jeff say.
But I do know now that I shouldn't have yelled at you. I yelled at you a lot.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser are The Drill.
I know it wasn't all your fault.
Mornings on 1010XL.
I mean, it could have been partially my fault.
It's my fault.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Jaguars Today Thursday is towed by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Springtime is the perfect time to get your home organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for any space and budget. Make an appointment to tour their showroom on Phillips Highway and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off free installation and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free consultation at 904-878-9393 or find them online, closetsbydesign.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not looking at the rearview mirror of unforgiveness. It's so easy to keep looking in the past when someone has hurt or offended us. What we don't realize that if we keep looking at the rearview mirror of anger, it will cause us to miss out on the good things that God has in store right in front of us. Friends, looking in the rearview mirror of the past will never give you peace in the present.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy are serving up your daily dose of sports talk specials from scratch.
I didn't know you could.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford.
These are delicious.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
I'm Frank Franzi, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee in Folkestone. Man, was I impressed. You have to see these handcrafted cabins. But act fast. On this 1,000-acre farm, there will only be 250 cabins. Each phase has jumped in value, so come get your lot and lock in your equity. Enjoy living in harmony with nature, going to the grocery store in your own backyard, and connecting with people grounded in food and purpose. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Ready to put your dream car in drive? Get solid rates for the road ahead when you finance with First Florida Credit Union. Enjoy competitive low rates, up to 90 days of no payments, and budget-friendly protection plans. Whether you're buying a vehicle or refinancing, stop by a branch or apply online at firstflorida.org/autoloans. Membership eligibility required. Interest accrues during loan payment deferral period. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit firstflorida.org/autoloans.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
All right, Jacksonville, let's talk about it. Spring cleaning feels great until your drains remind you what they've been holding on to all winter. If your sink's burping, your shower's backing up, or your toilet's hesitating like it's reading a blitz, it's time to call in the pros. Call Duck Duck Rooter. During their spring drain cleaning promotion, get your drains cleaned plus a free camera inspection for just $129. Must have outside clean out, honest pricing, proven experience, no fourth quarter surprises. When you're stuck, call the Duck. That's 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. In the East Region, South Florida faces Louisville in the NCAA tournament as the 11-seeded Bulls play the 6-seeded Cardinals today, aiming to build on their winning record. In the Midwest region, number 8 Georgia will play number 9 St. Louis tonight at 9:45. Georgia's quick tempo and rebounding may provide an edge against the slower St. Louis team. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 58 degrees at 11:05. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, I will be hooked on every game until my bracket is busted, which could come early. I think last year I lost the opening game, but then I did really well. I think I was 7-1 the first couple of windows, but best day on day one, I went 15-1 one time. I bring it up every year. It's never been replicated. I might have had a 13-3, a few 13-3s along the way. That is what it is. All right, Tony, we're going to rip through these brackets along with RJ Saunders with, the combined basketball, college basketball intel in, the little finger of someone who actually knows what they're talking about. Okay, so starting in the East, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you biggest first-round upset that we've got and who is advancing to the Sweet 16, at least on the first go-round here. First round, I've got South Florida. This is guaranteed that Louisville's winning. I wrote Louisville in, scratched them all the way out, and put South Florida. So that's generally a good sign. But I got the 11 seed South Florida Bulls there. I also have UCF as 10 seed. Sweet 16, I've got Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, chalky for the most part. St. John's over Kansas, the only upset for you.
The same Sweet 16.
Okay.
I have over there in the East, and the only two upsets I have in the region are the 9 and the 10 winning. So I have UCF as well, and then
UCF. All right.
TCU over Ohio
That's your
State.
bigger one.
Yeah.
RJ?
All right, so in my Sweet 16, I have Duke, Kansas, Michigan State, and UConn. The lowest seed I have winning, don't kill me, Mike Dempsey, Northern Iowa defeating St. John's.
Bro, I'm not going to kill you. You might be right. I don't know. We're actually not a great shooting team. Well, I say we as if I play for St. John's. All right, moving on to the South here. Opening round, I got the 9 winning here. I don't think I have a whole lot of upset. I have VCU over North Carolina. I do have the 11 getting it done again. My Sweet 16, I've got Florida Vandy. I've got Illinois Houston. So, again, the 5 over the 4, but pretty chalky otherwise.
Yeah, Florida Vandy, Illinois Houston as well for me in the Sweet 16 there. 2 upsets in the opening round. I have with you VCU over North Carolina, and then the 13 seed Troy over Nebraska in the 13-4.
Nebraska's never won an NCAA tournament game. Will that continue? RJ Saunders.
In my Sweet 16 in the South, Florida, Nebraska, Illinois, and Houston. My lowest seed winning in that region. I have oh God, don't kill me, Tony. McNeese beating Vanderbilt.
Man, this guy,
he's got hate for the host on the show.
He's coming out of here like if I could pick the Lakers to lose in the next round, I would do that right here. All right, moving on to the West, the upper right-hand portion of your piece of paper. Let's see. First, the Sweet 16. I've got the, again with the 5 here. I've got the 1 and the 5, Arizona and Wisconsin. I've got Purdue and Gonzaga. So very chalky again. I think I've gone 1, 2, 3, and 5 in every region so far. Toyed with Texas over BYU. Ultimately, I went Utah State 9 over the 8, the only upset in the first round.
Okay. My Sweet 16 here, I have Arizona, Arkansas, the 3 seed Gonzaga, and Missouri, the 10 seed into the Sweet 16.
My mistake. I do have Missouri over Miami.
Yeah.
So, yes, that is the
And
lower
it's kind of
seed
a weird thing that those games are being played in St. Louis. Right, so it's kind of close to a home game for Missouri,
absolutely.
which is the only strategy I can give you in any bracket. That's the only tidbit of information I have.
Breaking it down to levels beyond scientific.
About anything. But as far as the first round upsets there, obviously I have Mizzou getting the upset there in the 7-10 matchup.
That's a popular one,
Yeah.
it seems, and I don't know a lick about the Miami Hurricanes basketball team.
I think it's the St. Louis thing.
Maybe it is.
Like, I think that's a big factor in people that are talking about that kind of thing. And I do have Texas getting the upset over BYU.
Okay. RJ.
Sweet 16, Arizona, Arkansas, Gonzaga, and Purdue.
Gonzaga, by the way, is the easiest win the first round. They always get to the round of 32 at a minimum.
Yeah, the lowest seed that I have winning and going to the round of 32 is Texas beating BYU.
Okay, and then finally in the Midwest, here's where we got spicy.
Oh, do we?
Ladies and gentlemen, Michigan be taking on the Akron Zips in the Sweet 16, the 12 seed. The Zippers, baby. Let's go. I couldn't name you one player on the Akron Zips. Michigan versus Akron. I've got Virginia, and that was another cross-out. I had Tennessee in the Sweet 16. Full cross-out, switch to the Cavaliers. They'll take on Iowa State. So upsets in this region aplenty. I typically do this. I don't know why.
You pick one region.
I pick one region and I go nuts. I got St. Louis over Georgia, right? And then 9-8. I've got Akron over Texas Tech in the 12-5. I've got Hofstra over Bama in the 13-4. I do have Tennessee. I have Santa Clara over Kentucky there. So I have numerous upsets there, but most of them then, with the exception of Akron, falling by round 2.
And here's the psychology question, right? It is the bottom right bracket. Is it typically the bottom right bracket where you go
because
nuts?
It's the last one that I haven't picked enough upsets. Damn it. I got to get Akron in
My
here.
Sweet 16 here coming out of the Midwest. I have Michigan. I have Texas Tech, Virginia, and Iowa State.
Why you got to pick on the Zips like that, man?
Yeah. And I have no upsets in the first round.
None?
Like, you're going crazy.
Damn,
Bracket is my
son.
Completely clean 1-8 getting through. Yeah.
RJ.
Okay, this is going to be funny. My Sweet 16 is Michigan, Alabama, Tennessee, and the Fighting Steve Nashes. Santa Clara.
Santa Clara, all right. I got Santa Clara winning that opening round game.
In the
Very nice.
in the Sweet 16.
I
so they
remember
are
watching Steve Nash
at Santa Clara.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? So that's my lowest seed winning. Because St. Louis is a 9. So Santa Clara is my lowest seed.
Yeah. Little known fact for a youngster like you: NBA stars used to play college basketball for multiple years, and they would go in the NCAA tournament and make names for themselves.
University of St. Louis star Larry Hughes.
How about that?
Are you trying to say that Larry Bird and Magic Johnson had a competitive rivalry in college of all things?
And then it
transferred to the
I
NBA?
had the SI cover on my wall from 1979 when they went head-to-head. I had that. My whole wall in high school was covered with SI covers. So, like, every spot, at least a good portion of it. The other one had the big posters, like a Reggie and those other guys. But, yeah, I was a poster guy for sure. I still have a bunch. I found a tube in my garage. I should bring them in and open them up on the air. But it would probably not be great radio, is my guess.
But we are visual now.
It would interest me, RJ.
But we're visual now. We're on YouTube and Facebook.
We'll do it
and
on my
Twitter.
podcast.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll go 16 down to a champion. We've established a Sweet 16. What do we have going forward? Who's going to win the NCAA men's basketball tournament? We'll weigh in with our considered analysis. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, RJ Saunders. Keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for big number 1 Duval Ford. Truck time continues to roll here in Jacksonville with Duval Ford all month long. You can be driving home a brand new 2025 F-150. How about no money down, no payments for 90 days, 0% interest for 60 months. That's right, a new F-150 with 0 down and 0% interest for 5 years. See all the deals now by going to DuvalFord.com. Swing by the showroom at 1616 Caston Avenue today. Big number 1 Duval Ford. It's truck time.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Early afternoon means lunchtime.
But the greatest thing is, it's my favorite part of the day with my best friends.
Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy. Yeah. They are XL Primetime, noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to FloridaHomeAC.com/careers to find out more.
Jaguars Today, Thursday.
Brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists congratulate the 1010XL Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brandon Webb, senior track and field athlete at Andrew Jackson High. Brandon was an all-Gateway Conference champ and is a member of the National Honor Society. He'll be attending the University of Alabama.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Save big and head to Ronnie's Repair on Sunbeam Road, your local sales and servicing Toro dealer, for their spring sales event next week. Ronnie's offers the full line of residential and commercial Toro zero-turn, stand-on, and walk-behind mowers in gas and battery options. Get groundbreaking savings on Toro Time Cutter, Titan, and Z-Master zero-turns, grandstand multi-force stand-ons, and walk-behind mowers. Take advantage of the Toro 0% financing or Toro rebate on select mowers. Stop in next week between the 25th and 27th to check out great deals and amazing finance offers. Ronnie's has everything you need to make your lawn look the best in the neighborhood. For more details on spring sales event deals, visit your local Toro dealer. Ronnie's Repair on Sunbeam Road. Browse the entire Toro line at ronniesrepairshop.net. All handhelds and accessories will be 10% off during the spring sales event.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
XL Primetime and Bud Light is all about the buckets Thursday and Friday to tip off the tournament. Join Joe C., Matt, and Leon at the Southside Ale House in Tinseltown, noon Thursday, and Monkeys, that's Hoops Heaven, and XLP with Bud Light.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
So a shout out to our Jaguar brethren across the pond this morning. Stoff weighing in asking, did I just refer to RJ as Dylan Saunders? I don't know. Tony didn't remember, didn't catch it.
Yeah.
If I did, it's because I love my golf son that much. And when I think of you, RJ, I think of somebody that I love that much. Dylan Denmark.
That's wild.
Huh?
That's you. So you're calling me Dylan because you love
Because
Dylan.
I love you both. Is what it is. Actually, I didn't know I called you that if I did. So if I did. All right. RJ's
As I said,
that's
man,
it.
listen, I've
been good knowing you.
I've been telling people my name is RJ for the longest, and still the senior citizens will call me JR for whatever reason. It's like they can hear RJ 10 times and still say JR.
Little, I don't know, verbal dyslexia. I have that sometimes. So you ever do that? You say the first letter of the second one. Yeah, I do that more than I care to. I'm here to tell you. All right, let's get through this interminable task of getting to a national champion. We're in the Sweet 16. So here we go. I'll give you all the matchups going through, starting in the East. I've got St. John's over Duke. That's right. Am I a homer? 100%. 100% homer. I got UConn over Michigan State. I have the St. John's Red Storm in the National Final Four over UConn. Tony Smith, East.
In the East, I have Duke over the 5 seed coming out of there, St. John's.
See what he had to do? He had to pause. He goes, now who's the 5? Because all he does is write the number.
All I do is write the number, yeah. But I pay for the 2 minutes early with the 5 minutes on the back end of the entire thing. Then I have Michigan State over Connecticut. So that's my Elite 8 there. And I have Duke over Michigan State to get to the Final Four. Yep.
RJ.
All right, so in my Sweet 16, Duke, Kansas, Michigan State, UConn. And I have Duke defeating UConn to go to the Final Four.
Okay. In the South, I've got Florida Vandy matching up. I'm running it back with Tony's Vanderbilt Commodores right there. Do I really feel confident in that? No, but what the hell? I got Vandy going to the Elite 8. I've got Houston over Illinois. I've got the Houston Cougars, the Cougs, baby, taking me back to the Clyde Drexler, Akeem Olajuwon days.
Phi Slamma Jam.
Phi Slamma Jamma. By the way, you ever watch the semifinal game against Louisville when Phi Slamma Jamma made the championship and they lost to Georgetown? Might have been one of the best, most athletic display of open court brilliance that you'll ever watch. I mean,
I just remember the 30 for 30.
If you could find a YouTube, you could probably find it on YouTube. Watch that whole game sometime.
I remember the 30 for 30 they made where Houston got defeated by who did Jimmy V coach?
NC State. Yes. Yeah.
On like a final second alley-oop.
Yes.
I think it was.
I think it was when they beat or they lost to Georgetown that they dominated Louisville. Maybe it was they dominated Louisville in the semis and then played NC State. I could have my years messed up for sure. All right, where are we at in the South, Tone?
If they are able to get there, this would only be Vanderbilt's 7th Sweet 16 appearance in program history.
Okay.
They have never made it to the Elite 8. This would be the farthest they have ever gotten if they are able to get there. But given the matchup, we've seen them. They lost to Florida close, and then they beat them bad last weekend. So, look, I'll pick my guys for this one to get Vanderbilt into the Elite 8. And on the other side, I do have Houston winning over Illinois. So that's the Elite 8 there. I do have Houston getting to the Final Four.
So we have the same basically from the Sweet 16 on there. What do you got in the South, RJ?
In the South, I have the Gators, Nebraska, Illinois, and Houston. The Elite 8, Florida versus Houston. Houston gets their get back, so it'll be Duke versus Houston in the Final Four.
All right. In the West, upper right corner of your sheet, I've got Arizona over Wisconsin, and pretty chalky here. I got Purdue over Gonzaga. I got Arizona in the Final Four.
Arizona over Arkansas, and then Gonzaga over Missouri. Arizona over the 3 seed there.
Purdue. No.
Gonzaga. In the,
See, you're confusing me with your number
the Elite
system.
8. So then that would be Arizona in the Final Four.
Arizona in the Final Four.
Arizona defeats Arkansas. Purdue beats Gonzaga. So I have a Arizona Purdue in the Elite 8 and Arizona defeating Purdue to go to the Final Four.
By the way, looking at this, there's no Navy. My father-in-law went to Navy, so my wife always picks them to go to the Final Four. There's no Maryland. She always picks them to go to the Final Four because, the Turtles. Look at they're turtles. But she does love the nickname the Boilermakers. I will bet she has Purdue. She'll probably have St. John's and Purdue in the championship game. We'll fill out a bracket when I get home. She won't be aware of any of the finals at that point. All right, Midwest, is that where we're at here?
Yes.
I got Michigan over the Akron Zips. I've got Iowa State over Virginia. Give me the Cyclones, baby. Cyclones taking down the Wolverines to get to the Final Four. I just got a middle finger salute from Trent Osborne. He's wearing his
the Michigan man in there.
gear around here.
Michigan over the 5-seed Texas Tech. And then I have the 3-seed Virginia losing to the 2-seed Iowa State. And I do have Michigan over Iowa State to get to the Final Four.
Salty.
Michigan over Alabama. In my Sweet 16, Tennessee over the Fighting Steve Nashes at Santa Clara, and Michigan defeating Tennessee to go to the Final Four. So Arizona against Michigan in my Final
Tennessee
Four.
on a run right there is what you've got. All right, Final Four. I got Houston over St. John's. I got Arizona over Iowa State. I took Arizona 77-70, just because that sounds like a college basketball score to me in the championship game. And I did not have that until Taylor Dahl reminded me you must have a tie-breaking score. So I got Arizona over Houston with St. John's and Iowa State making the Final Four, but not getting any further than that.
I have Duke over Houston and Arizona over Michigan, with Arizona taking home the national championship. I also, funny enough, have 157 as the point total.
I have 147.
Yeah, 157 as my point total.
All right, so I'm 10 below you.
Yeah.
What do you got, RJ?
So I have Duke defeating Houston, Arizona defeating Michigan, and I have Duke defeating Arizona by a final score of 83-81.
Fantastic. All right, never to be discussed again. As I start the day, they're the tournament 10-6.
He's got
today.
almost basically you offer to help him cover the 10, right, to get into the competition here in the building. He's like, you're not going to like my bracket. It's like they're very similar.
Very similar.
Right.
Well, your Final Four is what now? Duke over, give it to me again.
Duke, Houston, Arizona, Michigan. Duke defeats Houston. Arizona defeats Michigan. Duke and Arizona in the championship.
Right.
Duke wins by 2.
Like you have St. John's there because you're rooting for St. John's.
But that would be like, right. My one would be the one not to back. Out of any of them, RJ's would be the more conventional one, I would think.
You know, last year, I don't know how long it had been since it had happened, but last year all the 1 seeds made the 4. Right? Like that's who made the Final Four
it was
last
very
year.
Chalk, yeah.
And I think like a lot of the people, again, very little research being put into this, but the few people I've seen that have talked about it says if you're going to pick, you know, like if you're trying to actually win a bracket and you're trying to get the Final Four correct, you need to be picking the 1 seeds. And if you're not taking them, you need to take Houston. Right, is essentially what they said. They said these are the 5 really in this year's tournament. So, okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's a question I have.
Yes.
I wonder how many people have used AI to fill out their bracket.
Probably a lot. I mean,
we had Donna for years would do a coin flip.
Yeah, Donna would do
coin flip. Literally, she would flip a coin
every game, but Donna then.
What is she, Two-Faced?
Well, no, she started then be going like, I don't know.
Two-Face had a one-sided coin, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it was the same on both sides.
I don't know if this 14 seed's going to beat the 3, so she would selectively edit a few of the picks, but not many. She'd stick with the coin bracket, and it would come up with some crazy,
some wild stuff, yeah.
And she'd occasionally hit some of the outlier upsets, too, because you're flipping a coin, for goodness sakes. All right, before we hit the break here, I saw this from Adam Schefter a minute ago. You know, they're talking about expanding the allowable window for NFL trades out to 5 years for draft picks. Right now it's 3. Right, so you could conceivably trade your your 2028 first rounder if you're the Jags. If you your 27 and 2028 first rounders as it stands right now. I don't like it, Tone. I don't like the whole thing. I think what's going to take is you're going to get teams that take wild chances to try to push all in right now. And I guess they do that to some degree now, but I think you're going to look up, there are going to be teams that have no chance to win for multiple years in a row. And maybe you say, oh, that's the way it is now. I don't know. You can the Jags turned it around in a year last year. I think this is going to make it tougher when you get a GM making some bad decisions. But Schefter's point is they're kind of addicted to the trade volume right now. Last year, from the start of the league year, which is the beginning of free agency, until the draft, the league-wide, there were 15 trades. So far since last week, there have been 18, including the Andy Dalton deal today. So we're going to maybe double what we saw potentially, or at least go well above. We're already above the total, and there's still like 5 weeks to go before we get to the NFL draft. So they're hooked on it. I just don't like the idea of some GM who's there temporarily impacting your team for a half decade like that. Imagine if Trent Baalke decided, I got to save my job, and I'm going to trade all our first rounders for the next 5 years to stopgap a couple of holes because I put together a crappy roster or something along those lines. Who's going to stop him at that point? The owner could, but
the NFL rules kind of protect them from themselves, with some of the stuff that they put in there. But, everyone gets a little wild-brained from time to time.
Do we want to be one of those leagues in the NFL, like the NBA, where you look up and you're like...
Not even a little bit.
I get that in the NBA, you can't trade your first rounder in consecutive years, but you look out and you're like, well, this team doesn't have their own first rounder for the next 9 years. Like, what? What?
So the draft, what does it mean?
That means nothing to that team.
Right.
Then you're hoping you push all in. The NFL, I think, or the NBA, we're getting a little far afield here, but I don't know if matching salaries in the trades is the best thing. I think you should allow teams to get rid of bad contracts if somebody wants to take it on and not take back the equivalent money. I know they're done so teams don't get fleeced, but at a certain point, you got to, take the training wheels off. And I guess you could make that as a counter argument to what I'm saying about the NFL that, hey, look, it's up to them. They got to make good decisions. I don't like you like Gladstone now. The next GM or whatever, this is a temporary situation. I don't want the next guy who comes along to have the ability to cripple your team. To do some, you don't even like the fact that we got dead money for a year, and understandably so, from all the bad contracts in part that Trent Baalke was giving out.
And at that point, the only protection you have from that kind of thing being done is the owner stepping in.
Yes.
Right? Like
that's the how many of the owners are going to do that?
That know football well enough to do that kind of thing.
That's why you hire the GM to trust that guy to make those moves. So I'm not a big fan of that, but who am I to stand in the way of progress? No one. Just someone voicing my opinion on it. You start to hear a groundswell on these kind of things sooner rather than later. It's going to get allowed because teams want the ability. They make bad trades. Oh, we don't have capital in the next few years. Don't worry. We'll mortgage even more of the future to get back in right now. It's great if you're the beneficiary of some of those deals, but not so much if you're giving up all your future low-cost assets. All right, let's take a time out here. Come back, get it on point. You're listening to Jaguars Today. A couple segments to go on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Dandy Foods, owned and operated right here in Duval by a great local family. The Thompson family have started Dandy, well, they did 70 years ago, back in 1956, back when sandwiches were sold out of beer flats right there on the counter, unrefrigerated, right by the register. 25 cents will get you ham and cheese back then. Of course, a lot has changed, but one thing that hasn't is Dandy's commitment to making quality sandwiches for their customers. Look, I walked in yesterday to a local Circle K, gassed up, walked in, and I thought, you know what? Let me just count the Dandy products. Once again, I was over 35. I think I lost count, but there's such a great variety of breakfast items, salads, full line of sandwiches and subs. Any kind of appetite you've got, Dandy's got it with great high-quality ingredients, backing them up the entire way. So when you're hungry in Duval, remember the name Dandy, a Jacksonville original. And do what I do when you are. Go out and make yours a Dandy and do it today.
Jaguars Today for the renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Turn on your radio. We'll bring the game to you.
Here we go. 4th and a yard.
Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio. 1010XL.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets. Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
When you drive past a Kuhn Flowers location, did you know their inside showroom is filled with gift items? Kuhn Flowers isn't just for sending flowers. Frank Frangie here. And when I need a unique gift, I head for Kuhn Flowers. Beach Boulevard and in Ponte Vedra since 1947. Kuhn Flowers.
You're locked in to Jaguars Today Thursday with
Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
This is Frank Frangie. Over the past 11 years, the weight loss industry has seen it all. New medications, fad diets, sculpting. Yet Awaken 180 still stands alone as the proven solution for lasting weight loss. Results at awaken180weightloss.com.
We went to probably 4 or 5 jewelry stores.
Jacksonville's Mitch Vandal went to the town center looking for an engagement ring, but found the big box corporate jewelry experience wasn't for him.
Nobody was really helping us. One of the stores, some people walked in behind us and they were offered beer and champagne, and I'm wearing shorts and a cutoff, so I don't really look the part. So I was like, well, I guess we'll go somewhere else. I don't know if they think we can afford to shop here or what.
So he went across and discovered locally owned Beards Diamonds.
When I walked in, everybody just said, hey, welcome in. Welcome to Beards.
Mitch loved the service and attention he got at Beards and ended up with a bigger, better quality diamond.
It was about twice the size of what I thought I could afford, and it was also about twice the size of what my wife thought she wanted.
Today, Mitch tells all his friends, shop local, shop Beards.
You're going to get the best deal on the best diamond.
Unbeatable value, unmatched selection, uncompromising personal service.
Anybody that I know, I want them to shop at Beards.
Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
I think for everyone except myself here at 1010XL, the golden moment today is me handing my $10, making a future donation to somebody. I don't know who that's going to be, but it's not going to be myself. That investment I've made in someone's NCAA tournament winnings today is probably the golden moment in terms of actual gold.
Well, you at least have a good idea of how good or bad your bracket is doing based solely on whether St. John's is still playing.
True.
Right? Like, it's
Although I think they're a trendy pick to make a little run this year.
But I doubt a whole lot of people have them in the Final Four.
Probably not.
Right? So, like, as long as St. John's is alive, your bracket's probably doing pretty well.
You just got to root for all the other big teams in that region. Yeah. Because it doesn't matter. Because everyone's going to have the same handful of teams advancing a few games, right?
Oh, for sure.
Michigan State, UConn. So I'll be like, hey, Michigan State, go out early, because probably more people will probably have them in the Final Four than St. John's. It would be my guess.
Probably.
But who knows? Anyway, I was wrong. I was kind of right. I was in the area. RJ, it was Phi Slama Jama versus the Louisville Doctors of Dunk was in 83 prior to the NC State game. That's why it was such a contrast. You could find that game, I bet you, out there on YouTube. It wasn't that close. Houston beat them by 13, but it was just like the style of play that was on display that day was unbelievable. And then to have
up and down.
Yeah, NC State slow them down and beat them on the Derek Wittenberg miss and the Lorenzo Charles putback jam. Iconic back in the day, man. That one and Nova. I don't know. That was when I grew up, so it was more like, I was like a teenager playing basketball all the time on the high school team, playing intramurals in college, whatever. Like, that was what I consumed more than any other sport. So it just, I don't know if that is why it that certain age range. It's like everyone says, when was the best time? Well, everyone picks like, whatever decade they were like 16 years old. It was great back then. Why is it not like that now? And everyone says that because you were, free and easy and living your life full of hormones.
Absolutely.
Going nuts back in the day. So I don't know if there have been bigger upsets in the NCAA tournament. Maybe not championship game. Still, Villanova winning against Georgetown was unbelievable. But NC State maybe should have been looked at as even more so, just with the style of play. Either way, those two are going to be hard to top for me ever moving forward in terms of tournament memories. But so be it. Go build your own today. Tone, just looking over at ESPN today. It's kind of doing a recap of where teams stand right now and what's still missing after free agency. And the write-up on the Jags mostly focuses on the linebacker position because I think they're focusing in on a spot where a guy's going to be able to walk in and compete for a starting job right away.
Yeah, not a whole lot of those on the roster.
Yeah, I start to see a lot of more Derek Moore or other edge rushers mocked to the Jags at 56. You can still get them in the 80s with the mock draft simulators, which set you up for fool's gold there. But do you think that the opening day starter at linebacker, whoever replaces Devin Lloyd, is already on this roster?
If I had to do the math in my head on the yes or no on that on a percentage scale, I would say it's about 35% yes.
Okay.
In my head, but like that, I leave that much of a gap for somebody in the draft to come in and be a starter at one of those linebacker spots.
I think that's a good percentage, but once you get past pick 56, if they don't take a linebacker there, I think that number drops or rises, whatever side you're looking at, significantly at that point in time.
I think they're at least comfortable with Ventrell Miller as one of their linebackers, right? So
I think if they take a linebacker at 56, though, that guy is
they're drafting him to
opening
start.
Day.
Yeah, like if they go that direction with it, they're drafting him to start. And I think there's a real chance that if they didn't do it until the third round, that's likely still true. But I think it's definitely true at 56. And in the third round, you get into the more, all right, how exactly do they view this?
Well, we look at our own third rounders last year.
Right.
I don't know if Ransall was making the move to take over anything before he got hurt,
But I do think the off-ball linebacker in a lot of ways is kind of the running back position on defense, right? And I view it in a lot of similar ways where you can have guys that come in and have immediate impact. They're also replaceable, right? Via different avenues, which is why I'm not quite as upset as some are on the Devin Lloyd thing. I can understand the rationale, even if I would have been comfortable making a similar offer to what he wound up getting in Carolina. I'm also very comfortable with them not having done it, for Devin Lloyd and going a different direction with it. So I think I think that 35% number for it being Ventrell Miller basically on the roster is about right. I don't have much of a thought on Branson Combs, being that kind of guy.
Right.
But again, that position itself, I think, is replaceable enough that if it wound up being Branson Combs, I'd be like, okay.
I would think I'm going to say yes, being the guys already on the rosters for more like 50%.
Okay.
To me, and I think that number decreases again if they take linebacker at 56. I think it holds steady if they take one in the third round, and anything beyond that, I think that number shoots way, way up.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you can't come in as a later round pick and impress.
No,
but
what did Ryder say yesterday? 5th, 6th round.
That you asked,
get a starter.
How late can you get a guy that you think will develop into a starter at that spot? And I think he said 5th. Was what he went with there. So that's his opinion, at least. All right, final thoughts as we wrap things up on day one of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. We'll give you the lineup once again and where you can catch all of our shows broadcasting live all over Duval today when we return in the moment on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 1010XL. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Gold and silver prices are near all-time highs. If you have old jewelry lying around, Estates Roadshow wants to buy it. Gold and silver, old rings, chains, even broken jewelry. Cash in while gold and silver are hot. The Estates Roadshow is in the First Coast area today through Friday, 10 to 5. In St. Augustine at World Golf Renaissance and in Palm Coast at the Holiday Inn Express. Visit estatesroadshow.com or follow Estates Roadshow on Facebook to see all upcoming local events and locations.
Jaguars Today Thursday, brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, proud partner and orthopedic specialist of Jacksonville. We're honored that the Jacksonville Icemen rely on our team for their sports medicine and orthopedic care. We built this practice with one mission, to raise the bar for orthopedic care right here in our hometown. Faster access, smarter treatment plans, and better results. Whether you're recovering from a sports injury or managing joint pain, we're here to help you get back in the game, stronger and pain-free. Visit osjax.com to learn more. That's osjax.com.
Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go.
Pages in your mailbox right now.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, GarageDoor911.com.
When it's game time, make feeding the crowd easy. Chicken Salad Chick serves fresh Southern-style chicken salad, flavorful sides, and crowd-favorite catering trays. Order ahead at chickcatering.com or visit one of 4 area locations today.
Hey, Jacksonville, David Garrard here. If you want a street-legal golf cart that's built with quality and style, check out Dynamic Drives and Designs in Jacks Beach. They have new, used, and fully customized carts from the top brands like Atlas, Dodge, and Pilot Car. Every cart gets a complete expert inspection, so you know it's ready to hit the road. Their team can help you design the perfect custom cart that fits your style and needs. For your custom golf cart, visit dynamicdrivesdesign.com today and see your perfect ride.
March is full of upsets, but your oil change shouldn't be one of them. Don't gamble with your time in a waiting room. Go with a proven winner, Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment, stay in your car, and a full-service oil change in 15 minutes. That's why Valvoline has a 4.7-star national rating and was named #1 quick lube in America by Forbes for customer service. Make the smart pick this March. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, easy, and built to win.
Homeowners, you taking a look at your lawn yet? Let me guess, you're looking at your lawn wondering what to do after a historically cold season. Well, if you want your lawn to bounce back quick, you gotta call topdressing.com. Nobody else can do what they do. Their proprietary process. I've never seen anything like it, and neither will your neighbors. They will have your lawn looking like a golf course. Nobody else can do it. They're no secret now, so get ahead of it. Call for a free estimate. Be the envy of your neighbors. Top dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, wrapping things up today for Jaguars Today. Thanks to Jamal St. Cyr for stopping by, talking a little Jaguar ball in hour number 1. Most of the sports world fixated today on the early tip-offs in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. XL Primetime coming up in a few minutes. We'll be out live at the Ale House in Tinseltown today. Different venue tomorrow. We'll worry about that then. We've got Helmets and Heels in studio today, but then the Frangie Show at 4 o'clock will be at Lola's Burrito and Burger Joint, and Rick and Hacker tonight out at Mr. Chubby's in Ponte Vedra. So 1010XL will be out and about all day long, taking it all in. I usually don't watch a ton of the early games. Like, I'll keep abreast of it on the way home, and I usually settle in for the 2 night sessions on the first day. It'll be kind of in the background, but I don't see myself locking in too early on it.
No, as soon as I get home, it'll be on.
What time's Vandy play?
3:15 today.
Today, okay. Yeah, I've got no idea tip-off times, any of that stuff, although I know St. John's plays tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, I don't know any of the other tip-off times. Basically, I do know the first game to start's going to be Ohio State TCU. I do know that's the first game at 12:15 today.
I got TCU in that one.
Yeah, and I know Vandy plays at 3:15 today. Other than that, I know everyone plays. I think Florida's like the last tip-off tomorrow night. Like, they're in the like the late window tomorrow night for whatever reason, but beyond that, I couldn't even tell you exactly what time they're scheduled to tip. I don't know.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoy it all today. And there's still moments, but not many of them. If you haven't done it already, to get in the 1010XL Mr. Chubby's Bracket Challenge over at our website at 1010XL.com. Rockville tickets. Welcome to Rockville. Top prize for that. Some other great gift certificates along the way. So hopefully you got in that. And we'll see how it all works out. I'll do my own public shaming on this show.
And apparently, if you have your bracket in hand and you go over there to watch Rick or Hacker tonight, you can get a free beer for everyone you get right.
Everyone you get right.
Yeah.
Everyone you get right. Have to have the bracket, have to be in attendance. You can't show up after the game with the bracket filled out going, hey, or you could try, but I don't think that is going to be very successful for you. Tomorrow, Tony, I think we'll take a look at what the Jags can do between now and the NFL draft to bolster this roster a little bit. You know, do they go down the trade route? Who are some likely players that could be available, or at least who are rumored to be available out there? And I think it's one you absolutely have to keep your eyes open for, because for a few reasons. We've seen James Gladstone be aggressive when the opportunity presents itself. There are holes on this roster, the holes on every roster, probably to some degree. And any trade doesn't hurt the compensatory draft pick formula, where they're counting on getting maybe a 4th, 5th, and 6th rounder added to their haul next year. So if you can do that, help your football team, give up a 4th here or there for a guy that is on a team that's going nowhere, presumably. I don't think it'll be a Devon Achane type, as we discussed with Jamal St. Cyr, but there's definitely, including Miami's own Zach Sealer, I will not put it in fact, you put that 35% mark on one of the guys currently on the roster starting at linebacker right now. I think there's about a 1 in 3 chance that the Jags pull off a trade before the NFL. And that's just my gut talking. That's not like inside. I just feel like, are they going to really be content to let it sit and play out for the next month? There are a lot of good players still available. You'll reach a point where signing guys does not impact your compensatory pick formula, and I would expect they'll circle back in and you'll get more of the Austin Johnson types filling out the bottom of the roster at that point, just guys that you can at least bring into your training camp and see how they work out.
Yeah, and I think, the compensatory part of this from a Jaguars perspective makes me feel like they're not going to be scared off by a guy that they may want to trade for only having 1 year left. In fact, in their mind, that might be a feature as opposed to a bug, right? From their perspective of how they're doing, it's like, can we get the impact from them for a year and then let them walk? And I think they're probably pretty comfortable being in that kind of situation right now, if that's the kind of name that becomes available for them to go trade for.
Well, it's like we're talking about trades, drive interest in everything. Again, that doesn't mean you should be able to move assets a half decade out in the future, in my opinion. But 18 trades already between the start of the league year and today, which is like a week.
Yeah.
And there were only 15 between the start of the league year and the draft last year.
Yeah, and I think it speaks to the kind of impact they're expecting out of this draft, too. Like, I think it speaks to that.
Right. All right. We can't count on sitting back and plugging a hole at X position, we better go out and get somebody in now that we're comfortable with. All right, with that, who's not comfortable with Joe C. and the crew out at the Ale House in Tinseltown? Let's welcome in XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Joe C., good morning to you, sir.
What is happening?
I see you out there, and I see that big screen behind you, and there's going to be NCAA tournament action on there in mere minutes, Joe. It's a great day. Congratulations to all of us for living another year.
Right now, I think we're trying to get the winning bid on The Price is Right, but it will not be long before all these TVs will be covered with NCAA tournament basketball. And you know as well as I do, Mike, this is when we find out that there is a channel called True TV that we have to go to. But you've got TCU and Ohio State tipping things off, then Troy and Nebraska. Little known fact, Huskers have never won an NCAA tournament game. It's not little known. Everybody says it. South Florida against Louisville. Louisville with one of their injured players, so who knows what's going to happen there, but you might have an upset with USF. These are all the games that will be going on while we are on the air, and then High Point will tip off against Whiskey just about the time we are wrapping up. But more than anything else, if you guys are holed up on the south side, this is the original Southside Ale House. So come on by. We got Bud Light buckets. We got Bud Light T-shirts, some other stuff to give away. And as you said, it's just going to be wall-to-wall ball. So we will love it.
All right, Joey. And that is a man right there, Tony, who knows how to promote a remote. Joe Cowart, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, sir. Joe, have a great show.
All right, fellas. Thank you.
All right, buddy. XL Primetime holding court for the next couple hours. Ale House in Tinseltown. Stop by, grab some lunch, take in a little ball while your bracket is still pristine in the early stages. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks again to Jamal St. Cyr from Channel 4 for popping in. Tom McManus off all week, so he'll be out tomorrow. We will lick our NCAA tournament wounds and talk some Jaguar ball with you from 10 to noon. For Tony Smith and RJ Saunders, I'm Mike Dempsey. Thanks for listening to Jaguars Today here on 1010XL and 92.5.